Good afternoon, this is Trey with Boise Idaho and Full Sail Real Estate. Today I want to talk a little bit about money with Jill Cattano, who's with PRMG, and she's a residential loan mortgage specialist. So one of the questions that people like to talk about is, how much is my loan going to cost me? Like, what's my interest rate going to be? So help us understand a little bit about today's economy, and maybe what to expect for the rest of this year. So today is August 17th-ish, 19th-ish.
Right.
And so what's going on with the current marketplace?
Oh gosh, okay. So there's a lot of things going on in the marketplace right now. We just had a rate cut as far as the Feds cut the rate, which is one of the things that will happen is that people will think, okay, does that mean the actual interest rate? So it was an overnight banking rate that was actually cut. So it does have an impact as far as our interest rates to some degree, but we're very closely tied to the bond rates, okay? So a lot of times people don't realize that for us on a daily basis, interest rates, our mortgage interest rates will go up and down. Sometimes we'll get alerts throughout the day that we need to lock rates, okay? So almost like what the stock market's doing.
Yeah.
So we monitor our rates very closely on a daily basis so that we can make sure that we're capitalizing on any of that kind of movement throughout the day, and we'll jump in and make sure that we're locking rates to make sure that we're getting the best value for our clients.
Very cool. And we talked about pre-approval letters, and we talked about, you know, getting the home loan, but what are some things that someone can do starting now to get the best interest rate possible and work with you to put together a really good package?
Well, some of the things that go into the package, if you will, or the factor into getting the best interest rate are obviously credit score.
Right.
Okay, if they are getting purchasing a primary residence, or it's going to be owner occupied versus a second home versus an investment property, those factor into what kind of interest rate they're going to get, how much money they're putting down, or what the actual loan to value is going to be on the property. A couple little things that are like little tricks of the trade, if you will. If there's private mortgage insurance that's involved, one of the things that we've noticed is that there can be a little bit of a price break, if you will. If you're going in at a 15% loan to value versus putting a full 20% down, there's this kind of misbelief that says that, hey, if I put 20% down, then I'm going to get the best interest rate. Well, there's still a risk as far as what the investor is looking at, because there's no private mortgage insurance on that. So there may be a little bump in the rate on the investor side to make sure that they're capturing as much interest on it as they can. So one of the things that we've kind of played around and found is that if you go in at that 15% mark, you might pay a little bit of smidgen of mortgage insurance, but you're going to get the better interest rate, and you're locking that in for the long term of the loan. So just a couple little tricks of the trade.
Yeah. Bottom line is, loans are super complicated. Talk to someone who can make it simple and help you get your hands wrapped around it and make sure that what you want to accomplish can be done.
Exactly, and also that it's going to suit what you need for the long term. We want to, again, the name of the game is that every single person is an individual, and what might apply for one person, your neighbor, isn't necessarily what's going to apply to you. So a lot of times people will come to us and they'll say, hey, my neighbor just got this, but you're an individual, so it's not always apples to apples.
Yeah.
We want to meet with you individually.
Different lifestyles, different incomes, different equity.
Absolutely.
All those things.
Yeah.
If someone would like to learn more about how to get their home loan and understand all of these questions and get answers to them, how can they get a hold of you?
At JillCatanno.com.
Thank you.